From the beautiful campus of Casper College, it's the T-Birds Coaches Show, bringing you game breakdowns, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews. Here's your host, Tom Myler.
Hello, T-Bird fans, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Casper College Coach Show. Joining us in studio, Coach Faith Anders. Welcome back.
Good morning.
We love having you here because, as you might have thought, or even, we might have suggested, we love talking about rodeo. Especially since rodeo is one of the newer things. We haven't really had a chance to talk about rodeo. So our fans, I'm hoping they're digging rodeo because we've got a big community that just loves rodeo. So
Absolutely.
Let's talk about rodeo.
We need to do like a question of the week segment.
Question of the
they need
week.
to have, let them ask questions. And we'll answer.
Fans, T-Bird fans, if you want us to answer any questions about something that you don't know about rodeo, because let's face it, there's a lot about rodeo that I don't know. I know enough about it that I can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
But any sort of those little nuances, I have no idea what's going on or why that was cool.
Absolutely.
Or maybe more difficult. And so fans, if you got any of those questions, please, in the comments, write down your questions, and we will be sure to, whether it's the following, well, it'd have to be the following week, get to those questions and make sure you get those answers. Well, that's a great idea. I like it.
There we go.
Keep our fans
learning
and
about
engaged.
the rodeo and the Western way of life.
That's right. So, rodeo. It's fun. It's cool. There's a lot to it. And, in our pre-show talks, we kind of talked about how it's a lot like track, right? There's so many different events. You got the men's and women's sides. Each side technically has different events, so there's even more events than just maybe track itself. There's a lot to it. There's so much to rodeo. But let's start with this. You went to Sheridan last weekend. Tell us about it. What are your thoughts?
We had strong showing from students on both sides. We had men's athletes and women's athletes that scored points, made the short round. Macy York on the women's side actually made the short round in 2 events, which was awesome. She got points in both team roping and the breakaway roping. Rope strong, horse work good. It was just, I'm proud of them and starting to see the hard work pay off. Corey James won the long round by 2 seconds.
Wow.
Or something like that. In the calf roping, he made a great run. In the long round, didn't draw the greatest calf in the short round, but that's part of rodeo. That's another part of rodeo is drawing your cow and a lot of variables. It'd be like
Darn animals.
be like drawing
Work
a
with us here.
basketball. Be like, okay, either get the really good basketball or the almost flat basketball,
Your basketball's a football today.
Yes, exactly.
Good luck.
Yeah, and so draw plays an important part of it, but I'm proud of how they showed up, and we're getting better every week, and they're putting in the work, and it's starting to show.
And how is the draw, the order of the draw determined? Because I know there's an order, right? That, hey, they're drawing first, and you go. How is that determined?
So how the students draw up at the rodeo is random.
Oh, okay.
So it's
it is
just
random.
into a random generator. They draw it up, and it's basically all the names are in a hat, and they just start getting pulled out one by one, and they get put in an order, and they draw up. Everyone goes once in the long round. So we have Friday slack and a Friday performance, and then a Saturday slack and a Saturday performance. So when you draw up at the rodeo is random. And then as you go, they draw the cattle by slacker performance.
Well, so much to it. Like I said, these little nuances that maybe the fans don't know, we don't know. We're always learning. But, yeah, those little variables that, they can really affect your performance. You might be one of the top riders, but you get one that just does something that you weren't quite expecting. It can be tough.
And it can be the other way around, too. You can, you can be in a dry spell, right, and draw that really, really good animal. And that could be the confidence boost you need to turn things around. The cow, what the game plan is. That cow does the same thing every time. Good start, sits their weights on you, and you go do your job and give you a good shot at it.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about practice, too. And so you talked about, hey, kind of what to expect with each animal. I know you've got animals of your own that you can then practice on. Is that kind of how practice goes? Is okay, each day you work on each event, and this is kind of what helps prepare them just mentally. It's like, hey, this is what to expect from Like, yes, there's the variable each time, but
Yeah, it's
generally,
all about
this is it.
preparation, right? So we have practice stock, and we want a little bit of variability in there, so we can practice those different situations. A calf that goes left, a calf that goes right, one that runs harder, one that's softer, and yeah, like I said, preparation, just being prepared for all sorts of situations.
And I didn't even think about that too, that you probably in practice do exactly that. It's like, okay, they're not going to run straight every time. You're going to get one that's, you're over here, it's going to go right at you. How do you adjust from your position to then make, whether it's the rope or wrestle or whatever it might be, how do you adjust yourself?
It's all about controlling what, focus on what you can control.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control the cow. We like to think we can control the horse, but really
Still an
that's
animal.
yeah, absolutely. And so it's about consistency and doing the fundamentals right every time, and focusing on those and doing that every time, regardless of what the cattle does, and focusing on what those fundamentals are that you have to do every time, regardless of the situation. And then there are things that we need to. Okay, I need to adjust. Maybe I need to adjust my shoulders when that calf moves this way or that way.
And is that how you base your kind of critique of your student athletes on how well they performed? Is basically, hey, you did your fundamentals really well. Like, yeah, that one got away from you just because that was the calf. Is that kind of how you base your critique on how well they performed?
Macy York's a great example of this weekend, actually,
perfect.
in the short round. She broke the barrier in the short round to win the short round.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so pleased with her because she saw the start she wanted to, and that calf just didn't start as sharp as normal. And so she saw the start for that calf in the long round and probably would have got out the day before, but she broke the barrier. That calf just wasn't as sharp, and I said, hey, I'm super proud of you. You executed your game plan to the T, and that's all you can ask for. Is this was what your plan was? Calf had a different play today. You did great. If you can go out, have a game plan, and execute it, that's performing well in my plan.
I mean, I like it that you're happy a little bit more with this performance from Sheridan. So obviously, more than just Macy York was doing that. Got to love that from your team, that they're always progressing. It sounds like maybe just some of the mistakes. I don't know what mistakes could have been made. Because once again, it's like, was it a mistake or was it the animal, right? So hopefully it's some of the things that's like, hey, that's fixable. Like, we can fix this. And maybe it's not even necessarily a mistake. Just, hey, we can fix this. I don't want to say error. I'm trying to think of a word here. Just this, maybe not lack of fundamental.
I just like execute.
There you go. This lack of execution.
Execute is one of my favorite, language when we're talking about performing. Because you go in with a game plan, we have preparation, we've done all the work in practice, we've worked hard, and we just need to take that and execute it at the rodeo. Nothing really changes.
Right.
And so, maybe we do have to change something because of how something went at the rodeo or how something's going in practice. But my goal is for my practice to look like a rodeo. I want intensity, I want intentional reps, focus, all of that to be in both places. And so if we're doing that in the practice pen, all we got to do is show up and execute at the rodeo. Now, that's a lot easier said than done. When you're in a pressure situation, you do make the short round and, the music and the lights and all that, and the announcer's talking you up. And, it's easy to feel pressure, but, yeah, when it all boils down to it, it's just executing.
Absolutely.
Because all these kids are talented.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason why they're college athletes,
Absolutely.
right? They're talented. They know what they're doing. This is their sport. And that brings us to our next point about hopefully executing here at the next rodeo. You're going to go to Lamar. It's your second to last
Fall
rodeo for fall. They do have the spring tournament, right? Or spring circuits,
Season.
I guess, if you want to say season.
Yep.
So for Lamar, what is it that I guess it's different when you're talking about rodeo because it's not necessarily you're going against a team.
No.
You're just going kind of trying to beat yourself, right? You're trying to create a new PR or personal record, however it might be. What is it you want your team to focus on going into Lamar?
And part of that's why I love rodeo is because you're not against anyone else. There's not an opponent. You're not having to sit here and I was just thinking about this morning, how Angel and some of the other coaches have to sit and make game plans for what other teams do. I don't have to do that.
Right.
I might have to do a little bit of research on what the cattle are going to be, where they're coming from, just even the breed of cattle might make a difference. But all we're doing is making a game plan for each student. And what do you have to do to be successful? And you just go execute that. Don't have to worry about what anyone else is doing. See your start, make your run, and let the chips fall where they may, because you got no control over anyone else.
And then you're right. Yeah. Then during practice, you just get the reps in and say, hey, I see you're doing this. Try it this way. And then, oh, hey, it worked. It didn't work. And just getting them as best as they can within their game plan.
Yep. Absolutely.
Look at that. There it is, folks. That's all rodeo is right there. Just executing
it's
your
so
game
simple.
plan. Yeah. Who needs all the other stuff? It's so simple. We love rodeo. So you're going into Lamar. It should be a great one. We're super excited. I haven't seen any live stream for it, which is kind of a bummer. I don't think I saw anything for sure.
I did see one shared by Lamar's, their school's page.
Okay, so we will make sure that one gets on the sports email, so that way we can watch, if you would like to watch rodeo, which of course I know you do. We'll make sure that gets on there, so that way we can watch and be cheering you on, even if we can't be there in person.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, is there anything else you want to mention or give a shout out to our fans or anything?
No, and just thank you guys for supporting us and how much this community loves rodeo. We feel it and we love it, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Well, we're grateful to have you here, Coach.
Awesome.
So have a great success in Lamar. We're cheering you on, but until then, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.